If I said to you the word COVFEFE or COVFEFE, or I don't really know how it's pronounced, would that mean anything to you? Well, if it doesn't, it will by the end of this segment. Donald Trump's bizarre behavior is continuing to raise more mental health questions, and we've done a number of videos sort of calling into question Donald Trump's emotional stability, and we've talked about his reading ability or lack thereof. We've talked about possible early signs of dementia. We've talked about possible personality disorders. And a number of tweets and videos from and of Donald Trump over the last few days are again fueling concerns about sort of all three of these issues. The one making the big headlines is the one with the misspelling of, I guess, maybe the word coverage as COVFEFE, but that's not actually the most disturbing one of these examples. Let's start to dig in. First of all, Donald Trump tweeted not long ago, yesterday, just over 24 hours ago, a sort of incoherent sentence about something relating to Russia and fake news, which I'll put up on the screen for you, saying, quote, Russian officials must be laughing at the US and how a lame excuse for why the Dems lost the election has taken over the fake news. I would love to see one of those syntax trees diagramming this sentence from a linguistic point of view, but we're not going to do that right now. That aside, this is a communication from one of the most powerful people in the world, despite the intentions of many people who are concerned about him and being in that role. This is not exactly an utterance of a mentally coherent individual. Yale University psychiatrist Bandy Lee said last week to Salon.com, quote, I've been thinking from the very beginning that he exhibits many signs of mental impairment. This situation has come to such a critical level. What we're seeing is a creation of his own reality, a reality that will meet Trump's own emotional needs and the need to impose that reality on others. Could what psychiatrist Bandy Lee is pointing out here explain the James Comey firing, which has completely imploded on Trump as a potential way to stem the tide of the Russia-Trump collusion investigations? Could this explain those strange comments about James Comey better hope there are no recordings of our meeting? Could this explain the haphazard leaking of secret and classified information to not only Russians in the Oval Office, but to Filipino President Rodrigo Duterte? Could this explain arriving in Israel and saying, we just got back from the Middle East? Could this explain pushing the president of Montenegro? All of this very, very strange. And adding to these concerns are a few seconds of video from Donald Trump's appearance with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. There was a tweet that was sent out from Pace Latin, who is an individual who tweets. I don't even have to give you his credentials, but pointing out, quote, reports say that Trump became confused and didn't know where he was in Israel, and in the middle of a press conference wandered off. We actually have video of this, and watch not only Donald Trump in this video, who, if you're not watching and just listening, does seem to be sort of disoriented, and watch Benjamin Netanyahu's reaction when this is going on. Very short video. Take a look at this. Trump truly looking disoriented and confused and sort of unstable on his feet with regard to where he was. There are folks on the inside of the White House saying Trump is getting worse emotionally, Trump is getting worse mentally, and according to a, quote, source close to him, Trump has sort of receded into his own world since returning from the Middle East. An anonymous source close to Trump said to CNN, quote, he now lives within himself, which is a dangerous place for Donald Trump to be. I see him emotionally withdrawing. Video from a Memorial Day ceremony in Arlington, Virginia. You see Donald Trump smiling, laughing, dancing, and headbanging, and making some strange mouth movements that I guess could be at least partially singing along to the national anthem. But again, Trump's demeanor, and I'm going to play this for you, it doesn't really seem coherent with the somber and solemn atmosphere of a Memorial Day event. Take a look at this video.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join the United States Air Force Band in singing our national anthem.
And then, last but not least, COVFEFE, which is the funniest, but also sort of the most benign. At 12:06 a.m. Eastern Time last night, early this morning, 10:06 p.m. Mountain Time, President Trump tweeted a very bizarre sentence fragment. Despite the constant negative press, COVFEFE, and Twitter exploded. Trump minutes later replaced it with another tweet saying, "Who can figure out the true meaning of COVFEFE? Enjoy." I assume that he meant negative press coverage. It is funny. The memes are hilarious. It's all hilarious. But really, this is just a small thing. The real concern is the growing signs of emotional and mental instability, cognitive instability of the President of the United States. And you know what? I'll tell you, it would make much more sense that Trump's bizarre behavior with diplomats and world leaders is explained by cognitive decline or issues than him just being completely in over his head with the presidency, which, let's be honest, we sort of know him to be.